Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here. So guys, we're talking about cheaters and nationals in this video, and for my money, I thought that nationals was a really good tournament. I thought that Konami did an excellent job on the live stream. I thought they got two commentators who knew their stuff. The commentating was amazing. They got some really good feature matches. The top 4 matches were amazing. A lot of actually the top 16 matches were really good. One top 8 match, Corey McDuffie versus Fat Player, that was really bad. But I think that it's really unfortunate that we've learned now that there's actually been a significant amount of cheating going on at nationals, and this is actually cheating on like a high level. We're talking about, you know, cheating in a finals match, cheating with a player who made top 32, and this is confirmed cheating. I will show you proof of such in a second. I actually did a video like this, I believe it was 2 years ago, where it was Tyler Tapman versus Jarrell Winston, and Jarrell actually did like 8,100 damage, and they fucked up the life points. He ended up losing the duel. But anyways, the first example of this came in the Dragon Duelist Finals, and it was done by our 2014 national champion, which is really disheartening. Now, I remember watching this match live, and I watched the match in its entirety because obviously I recorded it, and I remember thinking, did I just see something funny? But I couldn't kind of make out what it was until somebody else brought it to light recently. You know how sometimes you'll see something and you'll be like, what just happened there? I'm not 100% sure. You know what I mean? And what's even funnier about this is I'm the only person on YouTube who actually uploaded the Dragon Duelist Finals. So what you guys are about to see is you'll see Clayton, who is, again, he's our 2014 Dragon Duelist champion. You'll see that he activates Gear Giant X by detaching Georgiano as a material. You have to watch very closely. You'll see that he then searches his deck for, you know, Gear Giant X's effect. He searches for Geargy Arsenal, and then he puts that on the field. But what his opponent didn't see, and what the judges and, you know, the commentators obviously didn't see, is the fact that he takes another unknown card from his deck and he puts it on top of his hand.
Brandon Bird walls up with a couple more face-down cards, and now that the Gigant is no longer in danger of being hit by Traptrix Traphole Nightmare, Clayton Hill activates his ability and retrieves Geargy Arsenal from the deck.
It's interesting because it was that...
So did you see what I'm talking about? And if you missed it, just go back, you know, 30 seconds, watch it again. If you miss it again, just keep watching it until you see what I'm talking about. Now, I've played in countless regionals in my time, so, you know, I know that when you're shuffling your hand or you're shuffling your deck, you know, sometimes things fall out, cards get misplaced, all sorts of stuff like that. But what I really don't get is you can clearly notice that his hand is on the field, right? And it's in 100% perfect order. One card is over the other. The card that he illegally searched is obviously not. Like, it's diagonal, it's slanted, it's not even on his hand. It's kind of like just barely sitting on there. So it's like, okay, well, that should have been a dead giveaway that maybe this isn't part of my hand. Wait a minute, I gotta, wait, did I add this illegally? You know, maybe this dropped into here somehow. Maybe I should put it back. But it's like, even if you didn't notice then, wouldn't you in the middle of a fucking game notice, like, wait a minute, where'd this solemn warning come from? Like, where'd this extra fetus chain in my hand come from? Like, I didn't have this before. You know, wouldn't you instantly know that and think, okay, something's wrong here. I think I drew an extra card. Like, you know, I want to give the kid a benefit of the doubt, but to me, this looks way too sketchy. I mean, this is a guy who clearly was good enough to play in the main event, so he has to know what he's doing. He knows changes to the game state like that. Like, cards don't magically, you don't magically end up with MK2 at the end of the game just magically in your hand. You know, I think maybe he may have just intentionally tried to do it, which it looks like, but even if he didn't and he did notice it, he probably was just like, well, I don't know where this extra card came from, but I might as well keep it now. The second example of cheating comes from Steve Kaus, who took Sylvan's all the way to top 32, and I mean, that's really good. The problem is he repeatedly cheated using Miracle Fertilizer throughout the event. And you know that this is true because in his deck profile that he did with Inch 95, which I will of course have linked below so that you can make sure that I'm not just making this shit up, he says that exactly 3 minutes, 17 seconds into the video, go ahead and watch it, and I quote, "And people are ignorant and let me keep it on field when I synchro." He's talking about Miracle Fertilizer. Now, I'm not a fucking plant expert here, guys. I don't even know a ton about Sylvans and how to play the deck exactly. I know how to play against it, but I'm not a plant expert. but I'm pretty sure that it says right there in the text of Miracle Fertilizer, if a special summon monster by this effect leaves the field, destroy this card. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you synchro summon, that does mean the monster leaves the field, and that Miracle Fertilizer would be destroyed. So, like, I don't understand how much more obvious they could make it. You know what I mean? Watch the video. He clearly states that he was leaving Miracle Fertilizer on field when he synchroed knowingly, and that he just left it on board because apparently his opponents didn't know. And here's where it gets even more hilarious as he tries to defend himself, because people were calling him out for cheating blatantly on Facebook. And here's what he says. Again, I am quoting him exactly. You guys can read it. Well, my cards were foreign, and every time I played it, no one said anything, so I assumed I wasn't doing anything illegal. Okay, so let me just stop him right there. If you weren't doing anything illegal and you did not believe such, then why in Inch 95's video did you just say, and I quote, people are ignorant and they let me keep it on field when I synchroed? I mean, to me, that seems like a contradiction. So I'm not entirely sure what he's trying to do. I mean, this ain't rocket science, guys. Either he knew what he was doing or he didn't know what he was doing. And based on Inch 95's video and what came out of his own mouth in that video, it seems pretty damn clear that he knew what he was doing. I mean, nobody made him say that. He said it of his own volition. He continues to say, and I quote, but it's not completely my responsibility to maintain my cards. Okay, let me just stop him there. Actually, it is entirely your responsibility to maintain your own cards. And again, he continues to say, and I quote, it's both players' responsibility to maintain proper game states, end quote. Now, I'll give him that. That is actually true, but it's also your responsibility to legally play and resolve your own cards. Clearly, Steve Kells did not watch the feature match, round 9, where the Berserk player accidentally played game 1 with 39 cards, and he got a game loss for it. And by Steve's logic, it actually should have been his opponent's partial fault too, because his opponent during some point of game 1 should have counted his deck and noticed that his opponent only had 39 cards. So, like, they both are to blame. I mean, I don't understand what he's saying. Like, on one side, he's trying to say, well, my opponents didn't notice, and I didn't know that I was cheating. But then in his interview, he's like, yeah, dude, I totally cheated, and I was, like, killing these scrubs. So, I don't know. I mean, it seems to me that this dude outright cheated, and he knew what he was doing, or he just didn't know what he was doing. At some point during the tournament, he knew that he was cheating, and then he just figured, okay, fuck it, I'm just going to keep cheating until I get caught, and then when I get caught, I'm just going to act like I didn't know. I mean, I don't know. Apparently, Konami judges have been informed of this already, and they're waiting to hear back from Konami to, you know, see if they're going to open investigations on both players, but it seems kind of obvious that even if this was accidental, these players should at least get, like, I don't know, 6-month ban, something like that. Especially the second guy who just blatantly came out and was like, yeah, I was cheating, I was synchroing, I was keeping my Miracle Fertilizers, and that's how I was winning. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching as always. Click the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed, you might want to consider it. I post daily Yu-Gi-Oh videos. And if you'd like to help me get to the next level, get the equipment I need, I'd like to ask you to check out my Kickstarter, maybe donate $1 or $2. Thank you for watching as always. Subscribing makes life happy.